I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hi guys, welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. Now, I have someone extremely special sitting next to me. It's the incredible George Crawford.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
A familiar face on Call to Stage. We have just worked together, haven't we, my love?
We have, for a lovely summer.
A lovely summer in Gatsby, which we will talk about. However, do you want to tell them?
No, you go on.
George and I are going to be playing Elle Woods and Emmett together.
Oh, yeah.
We're going on tour, baby! Are you excited?
Yeah, man. Do you know what? When that kind of, I mean, we can talk about it properly in a second, but just knowing that I get to work opposite you for like a full year, we're just going to have a right laugh. I think
Don't you make me cry. I'm not emotionally stable.
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really, really fun.
It is a dream come true. Honestly, like when the role came up, the availability came up, I just had somebody. At this point, I'd already been cast as Elle, and I just thought, I know there is a person I am dying to work opposite. I just worked with you, you know. We had the opportunity to do Nick and Jordan together as well. I
think that's when we knew, we were like, oh, we get on pretty well here.
Yeah, especially on stage, working opposite each other, bounce off each other. And I just thought, it would be amazing if George could play Emmett, and then stars fell in line and boom, you got it.
And I'm not much of a manifester, if I'm going to be completely honest, but you were the one that was going, we need to manifest this, we need to make it work. And there's actually a picture of me and you, and we're sat in like the kind of wig area where you check your makeup and check your hair. I'm like, let's have a picture.
Yeah. And I said out loud, when you book Emmett, I will post this picture.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And he hadn't even gone in for the audition at this point.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it did.
And it is.
It's happening. We're going on tour together for a year. Let's talk ritual. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you do any weird, quirky things apart from absolutely annoy everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I mean, that can be my ritual of just, can you swear?
Yeah.
Just piss people off, really.
You never piss people off.
No. I think it's just your basic, I brush my teeth.
Yeah, good.
I'll drink some water.
That's good to know.
I'll have a Jakeman. And a Smint. Wham bam, there you go.
Wham bam, and the dirt is gone.
Yeah. Stinky.
We had a couple of great pre-show rituals actually in Gatsby. We had a DJ set at one point from
we did.
you.
Again, when you've been doing a show for so long and you can feel the morale dip slightly, I just have a bit of an awareness of that and I go, oh, come on, you get some hairspray cans, you can be the pyros, and I'll just crack on these DJ sets.
And we'd be like that in warm-up. It was amazing.
That's someone else's job now. I can't be bothered.
No, darling, your principal. Darling, they can only...
I remember my roots. I will.
You stay humble, George.
Yeah, I shall.
You trained at Arts Ed.
I did, yeah, I did.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2019. So I had like 9 months of... I went straight into the first international tour, Book of Mormon, and I did 9 months of that before then COVID said, hey.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Arts Ed?
I loved it, yeah. I really, really loved it. I went to like a performing arts college before I started Arts Ed, and that's when I was like, oh, I think I might give this a go as a career. It came to me quite late. And my dancing was just not a thing. I was just like, I'll walk around and sing a bit. Still is.
No, it's not. You can dance.
I can. And yeah, don't get any ideas, Leah. I'm not doing that for you. And yeah, so I really, really worked hard to then audition for places. And my first audition was GSA, and I didn't get a recall. And I was like, oh, I might not bother with this. Maybe I can't do it. And then the next place I auditioned for was Erdang, and I got in.
Wow!
And I cried my eyes out because I didn't associate myself with... You associate Erdang as like a real movement place.
You do.
So when I got in there, I was like, maybe I can do it. And then Arts Ed was a dream place to go to. And then when that came in, I just kind of cancelled everything else and
you knew you were going there.
I did.
Is it like strong in all three, or did you prioritize more singing, acting?
I think there's a really good level of equality between the three things that they teach, but I knew that my movement was still one of the weakest things.
Okay.
So like I'd still give the same amount of effort, but especially in like the dance side of things, I was like so drilled in.
Yeah.
Because I was surrounded by the most incredible dancers that I was like, well, if you're at the top of your game in our year, what is it going to be like when you're out there in the
big wide
pool
world.
So I really kind of knuckled down with that. And then, to be honest, it sounds quite cringe, but I just took every day as it came because I couldn't then go, well, I'm going to think about my third year and think about what those shows are going to be when I could just about do a tap ball change. Yeah.
So when you finished Arts Ed, you went in for cover Cunningham and ensemble.
Forgive me, sorry. I need to put my teeth in, sorry. Well, originally I went in and it was for ensemble cover Cunningham.
Okay.
There was no cover price situation.
Okay.
And then when I was on the tour, there was someone had some vocal issues, so I had to leave the contract, but they still needed 2 covers so they said, can you cover price as well? And I mean, you might have to fact check this, but I still think to this day I'm the only person that has covered Elder Price and Elder Cunningham.
Oh wow.
Because normally you'd have 2 very different people doing that.
Versatility, George Crawford.
Yeah. Oh, just again, stars aligned on that one in that situation because, I listened to Book of Mormon growing up and I always just sang the Elder Price stuff, and then the Elder Cunningham I was like, let's sing the good stuff again.
Yeah.
But I only went on for Price and never got to do
Cunningham. You never went on for Cunningham?
No. I did the closing performance of Amsterdam and it was just magic. It was so cool.
How on earth does one take on the role of Elder Price as a graduate?
Because I graduated and I wasn't thinking. I was just like, oh, this is it. This is normal. And I didn't have time to think about the
stakes.
Yeah, and the grandness of what that role was in,
How old were you?
How old were you? 18, 21? 22?
Bloody
I think.
hell, George.
And I did my cover run on the Friday and then I did the Saturday night. So like it was all there. So
wait. Didn't that happen to you on Gatsby?
Yes. Yeah. No.
You hadn't even done your cover run?
No, yeah. I was in rehearsals upstairs and then
Jenny came in.
Jenny got a phone call. So she left and I went, oh, who is it going to be? And they went, George, can we speak to you for 5 minutes? Yeah, crazy. But I love that. No, it happened on...
You like that?
It happened on Newsies as well. I did my cover run on the Friday and then I did a double show the next day as Jack. Yeah.
What the hell? I take my hat off to covers. Like, I can't even...
But I'd rather be in that situation
just get thrown on
than knowing that I'm going to be doing a show, because the adrenaline of going, well, I did it all yesterday, I know what it is, I've done my dress rehearsal of that, so then when you go on, it's like, cool, there's just an audience here now, compared to waiting 3 months and going, I'm going to be on that date and people are coming watching me.
So let's talk about the Gatsby run then. So what had happened was, it was quite early on when Corbin went off, wasn't it? And all the covers were in the room, and I remember you saying Jenny came in and they didn't know who Jenny was gonna pick out of the room, and they knew someone had gone off, but they didn't know.
But we didn't think it was going to be a principal. We thought it was like, right, one of the swings is going on for that person today. We didn't think, we were so early on that we're like, this is not going to happen yet.
Was it pre-press night? No.
It was like it was the week after press night, I think.
And it was a shock. And did you only go on twice? 3 shows?
Yeah.
2 days?
Friday, double Saturday.
Yeah, and then Corbin, he remained on then, didn't he?
He was solid as a rock, yeah.
Yeah, it was solid. But I'm so glad you had the opportunity to play Nick, because, God, it suited you so well.
Yeah.
How did you even, Nick in Gatsby, it's Nick's show, I would say, personally.
He bookends both, it's his whole...
It's
the story through his eyes.
Yeah, the show. Basically, what Jason Howland did was vocally he would fit the score to your voice, which I think is amazing. But you very much stuck to the B-way version, the Broadway version, right? Didn't you, Mike?
Yes.
Where did you even begin to learn your ensemble track? Because you were a supporting lead, right?
In Gatsby, a supporting lead, mate. I brought on a drinks tray. What are you on about?
Didn't you have a name?
Mr. McKee.
Yeah.
What, for that one scene.
You had lines though.
Yeah. Amy had a full song and she was still ensemble. Supporting lead. That's what you were.
Oh yeah, I was supporting. Oh my god, the fatigue has hit my brain.
Look at the fluff on that. I shouldn't show that. People look at the budget.
Oh my goodness. So you played Mr. McKee?
Yes, I did.
Did you love it?
I loved it.
Did you love Gatsby?
I loved Gatsby. I loved doing the show, but more than anything, every single day was just an absolute joy.
It was, wasn't
I've never
it?
had so much fun on a show.
I know.
Because everyone was excellent at their craft, but no one took themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
So the audience was still getting an A-grade show, whilst we were still being able to like
faff around
and have fun. But we were all so professional that you could have a laugh, but no one in the audience would know what's going on.
Yeah. And hats off to George, honestly. Like, this is why I'm so excited to go on tour with you, because you are the morale of the show. And I don't know if you guys have seen it. You need to go on George's Instagram, but he went viral recently for posting a compilation. Is it compilation? Yeah. Compilation video of what performance he gave us in the wings every single night in a certain part of the show. So there was a moment where Jay Gatsby, Jamie Moscato, would look off into the wing and you would always be there.
Well, do you know what? Only until 2 months maybe into the show did he start looking in the wing. He wasn't meant to do that. And then just one day he clocked that I was there and I just went... and just smiled. And then he went, well, I know he's there now, so I'll always look at him. So I was like, well, I'll always do something stupid back.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how quickly it got to the scale that it did. But also, and speaking of morale, like, I wouldn't just go, I'm going to do something stupid and make sure that it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I spoke to stage management. I spoke to the WAM team. I spoke to...
Everyone was on board.
Because I'd done things the appropriate way of going, I've got this idea. Can I borrow that? I'll put it back. And they're like, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, some of the things, like, were incredible. Like...
And some things can't be put online.
Some things cannot be put online.
That's just for the company.
That's just for us.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a Spider-Man outfit at one point. You were shaving our company manager's head at one point.
We didn't get that one on. We didn't get that on camera. Well, we did, but sightlines were rubbish.
Oh my gosh! Honestly, it was just it kept us going. That.
Do you know the one that we didn't get to do, which me and Joel were going to do together, is I was going to stand as JD and he was going to get a blue jacket and a wig and do the pose from Heathers. Do you know when it's
I've never seen Heathers.
Carrying... Okay. Thank you so much for having me, Amber. It's been amazing. There's like a famous pose where Jamie's like got his Slurpee 7-Eleven cup and Carrie's in front of him and they're like looking all romantic. I mean, there's no point in me explaining it if you haven't seen the show. I haven't seen it. That's fun.
One of my favourites was George got Jamie's girlfriend in and Frankie's husband in. That was fantastic.
That took a couple of months to
get
that aligned.
We also had Gatsby Games.
Of course.
On the interval of a Saturday Eve, which was run by you and Millie Mayhew. Another one that
Big up Millie Mayhew.
Committing to the company morale. It is worth its weight in gold.
But also, because our schedule started on a Wednesday night, your Thursday was midway through the week.
Yeah.
And you're finishing on a Monday. So it wasn't like, oh, it's Saturday night, let's get it, we're nearly there. It was... Right, we're halfway through. Let's have a game. Let's have a laugh.
Pick this up. And of course, Amy Fisher.
Woo!
your beautiful fiancée.
Yeah.
She was in the show also.
She was.
Who found out they got the job first?
Amy. Yeah. I had an audition first, and I
Mhm.
said, you need to push for Myrtle on this one. Of course, we didn't know that the Queen was going to play Myrtle Wilson.
HT.
But I was like, you'd be perfect. You'd be absolutely perfect for Myrtle, just because I'd heard the soundtrack and bits and bobs online. And she then got an audition coming in. Well, she didn't for ages, because they were like, basically, we're casting
Big dogs.
big dogs. Yeah.
The big dog is Jordan. Big dog is Jordan Baker.
Well, it was Myrtle Wilson, but yeah. And then as soon as she got in for cover, she had like 2 auditions, and then she got it.
Yeah.
Because she's
I mean,
just
she
ridiculous.
pings that out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she pinged Gilda.
And yeah, it took me a bit longer to find out what it was. And they knew that my Nick stuff was like tickety boo. They just were struggling to see me do the Gatsby stuff. And I think also I look younger. I'm a bit smaller.
Oh yeah, because you covered Gatsby as well.
Yeah. But they knew, and Chris knows me from Newsies, like they knew vocally it was okay. It was just, can we imagine him looking older and regal? Because normally I'm like, hi guys. I was like, just give me some heel lifts and just give me a nice waistcoat and I'll be all right.
Pad me out a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. When we both had our final,
Mm.
we bought Great Gatsby. There was one copy in HomeSense.
Cute.
And I was like, let's rip out the front page and we'll cut it in half and then we'll put that in our pockets when we go into the final. And if we get it, then we can
Glue it
put
back
it together.
together.
Yeah. So she had her piece, and she obviously when she got hers, she put the date on hers, so she knew that she got it. And then when I found out that I got it, I put the date on mine, and then I FaceTimed her with just my piece.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And it's in our lounge. It's framed in our lounge.
Oh my gosh. And I love this story of, tell them like you two being your own people story.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, I nearly said Posh and Becks. I feel sick. But you never want to be like, Amber and Ben.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
You are 2 individual people who happen to be performers, who happen to be in a relationship with each other as well. And it's really important that we were George and Amy going into Gatsby, not, George and Amy, the couple who met on Waitress, are doing a show together.
Yeah.
That is what we are, but it's not like our selling point, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I very much wanted to be able to come into it and going like, hi, I'm George. Yes, this is my fiance. Not,
Yeah.
hi everyone, we're here together doing this show. Back off.
Yeah. This is Amy.
Yeah.
And basically, in the first rehearsal, they were like, they arrived, separated. And as they were getting put in their starting positions.
So, Amy, you're going to be on 7, and George, you're going to be on 8. I was like, Christ alive, get her away from me.
And it was just so cute. Like, actually, your tracks did a lot together.
Yeah, we pushed on a
Rail.
clothing rail.
I know.
And Amy says this better than me, but if I was doing that with someone else in the show and I was going a bit too fast, they can't really turn around and go, can you slow down a bit? They'd be like, sorry, can I just check the timing of this thing? Like, did you get that, George? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Amy was like, slow down, slow down. Because you can. But I found it funny because I'd start pushing it on purpose. I'd be like clipping at heels.
I remember me and Ben only had one argument on Back to the Future, and that was because we had like been together for like 6-7 months at this point, and mixing work and relationship is, you're gonna have your moments, but I was drinking his water bottle on stage, right, and that sent him over the edge. He said,
I need my hydration.
He said, I know you're my girlfriend. Don't drink my water on stage, right? And I said, it wasn't me. And all you could see around the rim of it was my lipstick.
Great.
And I was like, our first professional argument. Let's talk about, I don't know if I want to go Newsies first or Waitress. Newsies.
Boom.
Audition came up.
It did.
Did you do a dance round?
No.
You just sung.
Yeah, because I was one of the Delancey brothers, so they literally walk around smoking, have a fight, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
So I had it so easy compared to the guys in the show. It was crazy, crazy boots. And I'd had a no for Martin McFly.
Ben's year.
And I was like, I was devastated.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. And I was absolutely devastated. And then the email came in for Newsies. And I went in really early on for Jack material, and then that kind of fizzled away, and then didn't hear anything for ages. And then they went, can you come in tomorrow, sing this, do this scene? And I was in for cover Davey and cover Crutchy.
Okay.
And I was like, you've seen me do all the Jack.
Yeah.
Anyway, went in and then did all my stuff, and then I'd finished it, and then the amazing Nigel Lilly went, can you just step outside for 5 minutes? And I was like, well, this is either like he's so bad, or what can we do?
What can we do with him? Where can we put him?
And he popped back in and went, can you just sing Santa Fe again? I sang Santa Fe, and then the next day I got the call and say I was doing it. And Jack was a dream role. So when people go, what's your dream role? What's your dream show? I'm like, done it.
Yeah. Tick that
So
box.
everything else is just like a bonus now.
Do you think there's live for Newsies in London?
I think so. The issue is, it was so immersive.
It was,
and what we created as a company was so special. You can't replicate that.
In a different space?
You can, but not to the same scale. It was in like it was like an airport hangar.
Yeah, it was like an arena.
So you had like zip lines and lamps flying in and slides, and the set would revolve, and you could like run up and down ladders. I mean, you know what I'm like? I was just like a big kid. Big kid climbing up and down. They're like, maybe not that. That's a bit dangerous.
But like there was so, like when I saw Newsies, there was so many moments throughout the show where I genuinely would have stood up and given a standing ovation to parts of the like staging craft and the choreography.
Yeah.
Like it was so well done.
Yeah.
Like he deserved that Olivier.
Matt,
yeah. He deserved that Olivier.
Yeah, the choreo was crazy.
Yeah, and I met you that night, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I do.
All I know is that we were at the Olivier's. No, I had done a matinee. I'd had like, you know, one of those square, marshmallowy square things.
Yes.
Before the matinee, got ready for the Olivier's, and the first thing I had was a glass of champagne. I don't remember anything from that.
Out cold.
But I remember being with all the Newsies cast.
Yeah. It was really cool, and I'd never experienced being part of a show that gets to win an Olivier. So, and Matt and Jane, because Jane was the associate on it as well, they both worked so hard to create the show that it was.
Yeah. Do you think Gatsby will be nominated for an Olivier?
Any Olivier?
Well, let's discuss. So, we fall into best new musical.
I think you'd be looking at best new musical, best lighting, best set, best costume.
Jamie?
But
can you be nominated twice?
I mean, if you can, then yeah.
Because
but where
Frankie's
it gets hard is because all the parts are
supporting lead.
Yeah.
Because
Corbin as well.
I don't know. Do you think Corbin will? He's West End debut, maybe.
I'm not sure.
Is it quite political?
I'm not sure. It'd be amazing to be there.
Rachel.
Yeah, it'd be amazing to be there to support it regardless.
But if we are nommed for an Olivier, we will perform at the Olivier's, and like I would do anything to perform at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
With you guys. Imagine that reunion of just the Gatsby lot.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
I mean, we would have to have a day off.
Yeah. Which we can talk about now. Hey.
Yeah. We would have to have some time off to go and do it.
Yeah. We're both poorly.
We're so well.
We're both sick.
Yeah, that'll work until they see us on YouTube.
We both shared a dodgy sandwich.
Money straight from the mint money. My God, having to whack that back out the bag.
I know.
Let's talk Ogie,
yes.
Waitress UK Tour. This was your first principal. Wow. Supporting lead.
I shouldn't say, yeah.
Come on, it's still a principal role.
Yeah, okay.
Did you have your own dressing room?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Once at the bar, gosh. I was like, I've made it.
That is absolutely epic. And that's where you met Amy.
Yeah.
So
it was a really special show. Coming back from COVID, first time playing a part. It's a really special show. The music's beautiful.
I mean, it's an unbelievable production, isn't it?
And honestly, every time that Amy went on as Jenna, I fell in love with her every single night. She was unbelievable. Yeah. It was honestly, it was unbelievable.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Was it a hard role?
Ogie. It's so well written that you come on 45 minutes into Act 1. The show would start, I'd jump in the shower. Yeah. And I'd just be like, taking my time. I'd come down. The first thing he does is never getting rid of me. And I'd be like, that's the audience. Palm of my hand. There they are. Because you just come on, say some funny lines, sing this stupid song, jump over a chair, throw some flowers in the air, and go off. And that was me done for Act 1.
Oh, wow.
So my bits were so like cameo heavy, but they were like and you were the comic relief for what can be a really difficult parts of the show.
Yeah.
So I loved it because I'd just come on, say some funny lines, and then go off again.
And did you enjoy the tour aspect of it?
I loved it. Yeah.
Are you ready to go on tour again?
I am. Yeah. I mean, weekly's hard, but
we do get 2 days off though.
You get 2 days off. A lot of our venues are quite nicely located.
Are they? I haven't.
Yeah, it's like there's quite a few which are south, and then it works up. Then you got your northern ones kind of all together.
And
whereas
like we're doing
Waitress
Dublin
was like this.
Yeah, Dublin we're doing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, Manchester's 2 weeks.
Is it?
Brighton's for 3.
Yeah, we finish in Brighton, don't we? So that'll just be epic. What are you most looking forward to for Legally?
Working with Nikolai.
Yeah, I've never worked
always
with
wanted to work with Nikolai. And my time that I've spent with him in the auditions or just speaking to him kind of post the auditions now, you can tell he cares so much about his work. And he has
his cast.
Yes. And he's put so much time into every single project that he does. And all the things that he does do are brilliant. Doing an original kind of... Obviously, Legally Blonde is a known show, but it's like a new original production of it because it's Nikolai's.
I feel like there's such an appetite for it because I know we had The Park a couple of years ago, but actually I don't think it's been out in like over 9 years or something like that, you know? So I just feel like there is going to be such...
Last time I was at the Curve, sorry to interrupt, was Lucy Jones as Elle. Emmett.
John Robbins.
Yeah, so I called him recently to go, hey, because he's been like such a champion cheerleader. Can you imagine John is?
John.
Thick his face and ran out of gas. He's been a real champion for me and being like, you just wait and your time will come because you deserve it. So it felt really nice to call him and go, hey, I'm doing what you've done here, which is really cool.
And, you know... Will there be an entrance into town after? Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, guys, this is the end of our session, but I am going to be asking some of your questions to George over on our Patreon. So for now, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Amber. And like and subscribe and share.
And vote for me.
And
wait, no, I'm not on it anymore.